I nearly dropped my coffee when I saw the tow truck backing up to my hangar. The chains rattled, the driver waved, and right there like she owned the place stood Karen, president of our HOA, with that smug little grin that made my blood pressure spike. "We're clearing junk from the neighborhood," she said, her voice sharp like a rusted blade. "Junk? My airplane? My damn airplane?" I took 2 steps forward, the concrete echoing under my boots. "That's not junk," I snapped. "That's a Piper Cherokee 140, fully restored, and it's on FAA record as part of our disabled veterans flight training program." My voice cracked with disbelief. I could see the tow guy's hesitation, but Karen just rolled her eyes, flipping through a clipboard like she was auctioning off yard debris. "You never got HOA approval for that thing being here?" she said, drawing out. "That like the plane was some rotting carcass. We voted. It's going to scrap." For a moment, the only sound was the low hum of the tow truck engine. Then my heart just sank. I could feel the heat rising in my face, my jaw locking tight. "You're selling it?" I asked slowly, trying not to shout. "Without telling me?" She smirked. "It's already sold. Guys coming in 20 minutes with cash." Cash. 20 minutes. My mind went white hot. "That's theft," I said, my voice shaking. "That's fraud." Karen laughed, actually laughed like this was some HOA bake sale dispute and not a felony. "It's in our covenant," she tossed over her shoulder. "Abandoned property can be sold to cover neighborhood improvements." I could feel my pulse pounding in my ears. Abandoned? I was here every day, checking the plane, keeping her ready for the veterans who trained twice a week. She wasn't just metal and rivets, she was a lifeline for guys who'd seen hell and needed something to believe in again. And this woman, she had no idea. I yanked out my phone and started recording. "Say that again," I told her. Her eyes narrowed. "What are you?" "Say that again about the covenant and selling it as scrap," I pushed, stepping closer. "Because you're about 2 minutes away from a lawsuit that's going to make your HOA meetings real uncomfortable." The tow truck driver shifted uneasily, glancing at Karen. "Ma'am, maybe we should wait." "Do it," she snapped at him. "Hook it up. Now." That was when my neighbor, Jack, came jogging over. "Hey, what the hell's going on?" He looked between me, the plane, and Karen, and his face went pale. "Wait, is that the veterans trainer? The one my brother flew last month?" "Not for long," Karen said sweetly, like she was doing charity work. Jack exploded. "Lady, you touch that plane and I'll call every news station in the state." Something flickered across Karen's face, then fear? No, more like irritation that her control was slipping. "This is none of your business," she hissed. "Oh, it's my business," Jack shot back. "You're committing fraud right here in daylight. And I've got friends at the sheriff's office who love to hear about forged HOA documents." That made her blink. "Forged? What are you talking about?" I could see Jack's jaw tighten. "Funny thing," he said. "Last month I requested the HOA meeting minutes where you claim this vote happened. Got a reply from the HOA secretary herself. She said there was no vote, no meeting, and no record. So either she's lying or you just made up an entire resolution." Karen's lips thinned to nothing. "You don't understand the rules." "No," I cut in, stepping right into her line of sight. "We understand them just fine. What you don't understand is that you just tried to sell federal training equipment for scrap under a forged HOA motion. That's not just fraud, Karen. That's criminal." For the first time all morning, she looked nervous. Not a lot, but enough for me to notice the way her hand tightened on the clipboard. "Fine," she said finally. Tossing her hair like this was beneath her. "We'll revisit it at the next meeting." The tow truck driver muttered something about paperwork and started lowering the winch. My knees went weak with relief, but I wasn't letting her walk away clean. Not this time. "Don't think this ends here," I called after her. "You're going to answer for this." She spun on her heel. "You think you can scare me?" I didn't even blink. "I don't need to scare you. The lawsuit will." Her eyes flashed, but she didn't say another word, just stalked back to her SUV and slammed the door so hard the glass rattled. Jack let out a low whistle. "Man, that was close." "Too close?" I muttered, running my hand along the cool aluminum skin of the Piper. The hum of the tow truck faded as it pulled away, leaving the hangar strangely quiet. But the quiet didn't last. That afternoon, I got an email from a veteran named Paul who'd heard about the incident already. He'd lost both legs overseas and told me that flying the Piper last month was the first time he'd felt free since. "Don't let her win," he wrote. I promised him I wouldn't. By the end of the week, I had every scrap of evidence I needed: photos, video, the forged HOA document, statements from 3 neighbors, and Jack's correspondence with the secretary. I filed the lawsuit Friday morning. The clerk looked at the stack of papers, then back at me. "She's not going to like this," she said. "Good," I told her. 2 days later, I heard the shouting from across the cul-de-sac. Karen's voice, high, furious, carried all the way to my porch. The sheriff's deputies were there, calm and measured, while she waved her arms and pointed toward my house like she was trying to summon an angry mob. I just stood there, sipping coffee, the steam curling in the cool morning air. The courtroom smelled faintly of old wood polish and tension. Karen sat 2 tables over, wrapped in a cream blazer that probably cost more than my first car, lips pressed so tight they could cut glass. She wouldn't look at me. Her Lyera slick type with hair gel and a voice like butter stood up first, talking about misunderstandings and community safety standards. But when it was my turn, I didn't hold back. I told the judge about the veterans, about the Piper's role in their rehabilitation, about the forged meeting minutes and the attempted scrap sale. I played the video of Karen ordering the tow truck, her voice sharp as nails. "Hook it up, now," the courtroom murmured. Even the clerk raised her eyebrows. Karen shifted in her seat, flicking her eyes toward the exit like she was looking for a way out. Then Jack took the stand. He told them about his brother's first flight, about the email from the HOA secretary, about the night Karen slipped envelopes into mailboxes claiming the vote had passed. When he mentioned the sheriff's office had already opened a fraud investigation, Karen's lawyer actually paused mid-note, pen hovering in the air. The judge leaned forward. "Mrs. Henderson, Karen's real name, though everyone in the neighborhood just called her Karen, do you deny forging these documents?" Karen's voice wavered. I only did what was necessary for the community. That's not what I asked." She swallowed hard, her gaze dropping to the polished table. By the time the ruling came down, her face was drained of color. The court ordered her to pay restitution for damages, legal fees, and issued a permanent injunction barring her from making any property sales under HOA authority without documented member approval. On top of that, the sheriff's fraud case was moving forward, meaning her little scrap sale stunt might come with an orange jumpsuit. Outside, the air was bright and sharp. Jack clapped me on the back. "You just watched her whole little empire crumble." I looked toward the courthouse steps, where Karen stood alone, her lawyer already gone. She was staring at her phone like it might save her. It wouldn't. The Piper was safe. The veterans' flights would continue. And Karen? She'd be explaining to a judge for months why her HOA presidency had turned into a criminal case. As I walked away, the courthouse doors banged shut behind me with a sound that felt like punctuation, the satisfying kind. Justice doesn't always come fast, but when it lands, it hits like a steel door on a windy day. And if you enjoyed hearing how one HOA Karen got taken down by her own forged scheme, stick around on my YouTube channel where I share more real-life battles and victories born from lawsuits just like this one.